All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring, of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And pretty much, Vladimir Putin pretty much let the cat out the bag, you know, and revealed the true saints of Yahweh Bashem Abushai. And pretty much, this is a thing where he pretty much opened up the vaults, okay, which are pretty much known to be the oldest vaults, of preserved um, icons, okay, of the Lord's people, you know. And he spoke in front of a congregation and pretty much revealed it, of the so-called quote unquote Black Messiah, so to speak, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, which his name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, and pretty much you see now where, all right, there's a spiritual war going on here, good and evil. Now, the back history with Russia was when we pretty much ruled in Russia, or in even in Europe, all of Europe, for 1,000 years, which they want to consider calling it the Dark Ages, or pretty much the Byzantine Empire, or Holy Roman Empire, pretty much. We was up in Europe, and now you're seeing the relics are being pretty much out on display for the world to see. And pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter, you know, this was long to be kept, and we were long known as pretty much, the secret council of the wicked as the hidden ones, you know. But the Lord has a way of revealing things to the earth, and this is all going into prophecy. You see, now when you talk about Russia, okay, Russia pretty much is a Christian nation, and a lot of those people that are in Russia are, in fact, are Israelites. Their stock goes back to Jacob. You see, all right. So when you have Russia now, when they pretty much had the Bolshevik Revolution back in 1917, 1918, they pretty much assassinated the last standing czar, okay, that was ruling Russia at that time, which goes by the name of Nicholas II. Okay, now when you do the history, his line pretty much goes back to the stock of Jacob, you know, and of course, we pretty much over time we mix with the nations, and it just takes pretty much a generation or two to really pretty much wipe out the original look of a people. It really takes just one generation at the end of the day. You see, now when you see these pictures of Nicholas II, okay, the last standing czar, he pretty much would look like a regular, what you want to so-called Edomite, but his line, in fact, does go back to stock of Jacob. And the descendants, okay, pretty much go back to the saints. You see? Now, this was a move that Putin has done because of this war, this proxy war that's pretty much going on with the U.S., okay, and NATO. And this is pretty much a battle between good and evil, you know. But pretty much the Lord is pretty much revealing it to the earth because it's time. It is time. And I want to go with 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, because we know that this is a spiritual war that's going on here, you know. And the Lord is pretty much using Putin as a vessel, you know. And you know, brothers pretty much touched on this topic, but I want to hit it in another way. Every brother has the certain spirit that they have. They want to bring out, maybe the same lesson but a different spirit. But I want to talk about how the Lord has used men, kings of the earth, you know, for his purpose, you know. But it says, verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. And the stronghold that's being pulled down now was the false image that was erected across the whole world, where people have been deceived, and pretty much with those, when picture speaks 1,000 words, you know, image is everything. These are the so-called ease slogans that he has used, you know, and it has worked. It has really deceived the people, you know. But the Lord said, man, that pretty much things that are pretty much hidden are pretty much are going to come to the light. Things that are in darkness are going to come to the light, roughly paraphrasing. You know, there's not one thing that's going to be revealed that's not hidden. You see? And 2024, we're in the year of revealing and coming into the hopeful, time of Jacob's trouble. We have to go through these birth pains pretty much to get to the other side. You see? But it says here, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, and that's what's being revealed right now. You see? All of the imaginations through Christianity are being cast down, and everything that was exalting itself, pretty much, against the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Awashai, okay? Through what? Christianity. Christianity was pretty much exalting itself, you see, because along with that image that they resurrected, which was pretty much the Serapis Christus, and pretty much, Cesare Borgia, that image pretty much was the face of Christianity. You see, that image came with a doctrine. Okay, so now you're seeing that the truth is being revealed, and pretty much you can now you can pretty much, and I want to say pretty certain other comments, but I want to use it for like another video. But pretty much, this whole truth coming out, it pretty much gives people that were pretty much on the fence, so to speak, a different perspective of the scriptures. Okay, so when you pretty much read things like Psalms, the 37th chapter, it pretty much could, and you correlate it and you put the face, like a similitude, and put the face of the people with these certain psalms that you would read, you can kind of get some type of understanding, but not just some plain basic understanding, which the average Jake would have. That's not in this truth. The scriptures speak about pursuant to Proverbs 4 verse 7. Let me grab it real quick. Because Jake can pretty much look at this image and still be asleep. Jake pretty much won't consider. But this is let's go with Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. And pretty much you have to understand, where this is leading to. Okay? You see? This is leading to pretty much, it's going to lead to persecution. Okay? Because we already know we have the powers that be that are pretty much are, coming with the rhetoric of you speaking upon pointing things out where it would be coming under the lines of anti-Sim. You see? This is where it comes down to now. Okay? This is where you always had people that would come up and scoff and come up against this truth, of because what? Because of the image that they had subconsciously in the back of their mind, But I don't want to get too much on topic, but I want to get into how the Lord uses certain men, okay, to pretty much show favor to the children of Israel, okay, and this is really is helping this truth, you know, okay. This is something that we have been speaking about that pretty much now is being revealed, you know, out in the open, you know, okay. And when we were taken down, okay, pretty much by the Greeks, you see, you know, we pretty much lost our way, you know. That song, "Lose Your Religion." We lost our way, okay. We pretty much was lost our customs, and our customs were pretty much threatened if we followed them, if we practiced them, by the edge of the sword. You see, all right. So let me get real quick. Let's grab um First Maccabees chapter 3, Second Maccabees, Salakia, Second Maccabees chapter 3, verse 45. Um, let's see. Let me make sure that's what I wanted real quick. This is what that would be Salakia, bear with me. Satan trying to pull it up right here. And laid open the book wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their image, you know, and pretty much, you know, they were trying to pretty much X out the true image of our Lord, okay, and the prophets, you see, and pretty much this is what is on display here, right here in Russia, and there was so many relics that they could not get rid of all of them, you see, okay, and you know, and this is just like how Jake is, because you know when you go into a Jake house, what does Jake normally like to do? And this was pretty much popular like in the 70s and 80s, where Jake would pretty much put tons of pictures up of the family throughout the house, you know. Okay, Jake was big on that, and you still have older families that pretty much carry on that tradition that we had of pretty much putting pictures up in the living room and hanging them up all over the house of family members. You see, you know. But I want to get into how the Lord uses these men, okay? Because he said the Lord controls the minds of the kings, and as rivers of water, he turns them whatsoever he please. So I want to touch on the situation with King Cyrus, okay, and how the Lord pretty much was dealing with this man to a degree to pretty much push forth the advantage to the children of Israel. Okay, so I'm gonna go to First Esdras, chapter 2. Let's see, hold on. All right, it says, this is First Esdras chapter 2, verse 2. It says, the Lord raised up the spirit of Cyrus, the king of the Persians, and he made proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and also by writing, saying, thus says Cyrus, king of the Persians, the Lord of Israel, the most high power, have made me king of the whole world, and commanded me to build him an house at Jerusalem in Jewry. If therefore there be any of you that are of his people, let the Lord, even his power, Lord, be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem that is in Judea, and build the house of the Lord of Israel, for he is the Lord that dwelleth in Jerusalem. You see? Okay? And pretty much he made a decree, all right? All right, pretty much when he took out, you know, the king of Babylon. Okay? So this is Cyrus when he was the first of the Medes, the Medes and the Persians to rule. Okay? And he put out a decree throughout the land to allow us to build unto the Lord. Okay? A house unto the Lord. You see? And that was for our favor. You see? And pretty much all of the goodly things, all right, we were pretty much that were carried out, we were able to get it restored. You see? All right? So it says here, I'm going to jump to, that was the point that I wanted to grab right there. But I want to go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 1. For thus said Yahweh to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand have I holden, to subdue nations before him. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two living gates, and the gates shall not be shut. And I will go before thee, and make the crooked places straight, and will break in pieces the gates of brass, and to cut and sunder the bars of iron. You know, and pretty much, man, this is pretty much going to be the segue of us, of the Lord turning back our captivity. You see, okay, he got us from under the Babylonians at this time, okay, where King Cyrus came and pretty much destroyed the Babylonians and pretty much took power and pretty much set out a decree, which the Lord was dealing with Cyrus at that time, okay, to show favor to the children of Israel, to build a house until they had power, man. You see? Okay? It says, verse 3, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, Yahweh, which called thee by thy name, I am the power of Israel. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, my elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And pretty much, the Lord is pretty much giving back our inheritance, man. You know, that we was pretty much put out from that. You see? All right, we was discontinued from our heritage. You see? And pretty much, you know, the Lord is pretty much turning his face to us, man. And this is in the sight of the nations. You see? All right. From there, let's go to, real quick, let me go to Proverbs real quick. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs 26, verse 26. You know, and this is pretty much speaking about our enemies. Okay? And pretty much what you see here on the screen is you're seeing the museum that's pretty much opened, and you're seeing three individuals there pretty much with magnifying glasses looking at these icons. Okay? They dropped the word Russian icon and just call them icons. Okay? And they're pretty much in really pristine condition for their age. You see? But it says here, Proverbs chapter 26, verse 26, you know, all right, because what? Because our enemies pretty much have hidden this truth. You see? It says, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. You see? All right? And pretty much, that we're entering into the Third World War. And pretty much now, the Lord is pretty much breaking up that pact that the nations have had pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter. Okay? That decree that they set forth to pretty much conceal the hidden ones, man. You see? And now you're seeing fast forward as far as, speaking about the Lord controlling the minds of the kings, you're seeing now that Lord is pretty much dealing with Gog, and we can pretty much, grab that from the scriptures. You see? All right? Because what? The biggest enemy with this truth, okay, is going to be really Amalek, the small hats. Okay? They pretty much are going to be the ones that's going to pretty much set forth these unrighteous decrees. Okay? They're going to be the ones that set forth the demonization. They're going to pretty much set forth persecution, man. Okay? They're the ones that pretty much are controlling, trying to pretty much set forth the narratives, man. Okay? But we're going to go to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, okay? And we're going to, pretty much run through it real quick, but we're going to see how the Lord is dealing with Vladimir Putin in this same situation as how he has done with King Cyrus, and he's pretty much has done with Darius. Okay? He did the same thing also with Darius. Okay? Because we had the persecution come at that time during King Cyrus, where when Xerxes came into power, okay, they tried to hinder our building. You see? And what? The Lord pretty much set up men, okay, to get within the good graces of Darius, okay, to pretty much give him the advice, rather, to pretty much restore the children of Israel to pretty much serve their power, man, in that time. You see? Okay? And that was in the time of the Persians. You see? But we're going to go real quick to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, because we want to speak about the future prophecy, that's about to come to pass in this present time. You see? And it says, pretty much, this is Ezekiel, get to the point, Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. And I would turn thee back, speaking about Gog and of Magog, and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. And who's putting the hooks in the jaws of Russia right now? Okay? You see? It's the Lord that's doing that. You see? Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and with many people with thee. You see? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And pretty much now when you're in the so-called Middle East, you're talking about the likes of, Iran, Turkey, okay? All right? And the other countries that I mentioned forward, as far as Libya and Ethiopia, okay? That they pretty much are going to band together, okay, with Russia, okay? Now let's see what the Lord is preparing to do, okay, with this great company of men, okay? And right now you're seeing how Russia is pretty much being a guard to these nations, man. Okay? You see the situation that's going on in Israel, and that's pretty much, gonna come to a head. But it says, verse 8, after many days thou shalt be visited, and in latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always laid waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to the cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. And thus said the Lord power, it shall come to pass at that same time, things shall come to thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up into the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having their bars no gates. To take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods and dwell in the midst of the land. All right, pretty much, and that's what the Lord's going to set forth, man, to go against Israel, man. You see, all right. Let me pick up a few pieces in here. All right, pick up a few scriptures in here because it gets to the point. All right, right, and pretty much the title is when you look at the head or the title of Ezekiel the 38th chapter, it says prophecy about Gog and the future invasion of Israel. You see, okay. Now, I'm gonna get down to. All right, bear with me real quick. It says here, let's get to the point. And thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land, and it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Okay? All right, let's get that word sanctified in the blue letter. All right, hold on real quick. So allow me to pull it up. Okay? But pretty much being near to the Lord, set apart, separate, sanctified. He's pretty much is sanctifying his spirit within Gog. You see? Okay? And pretty much, man, that's going to be the judgment, man. That's pretty much, man, this is going to be part of it. And then now, and ultimately, okay, he's going to come up against Babylon, man. Okay? You see? So the Lord had it to where he gave E, okay, the blessing of the sword, okay? And although a lot of them that live in Russia today are of their descendants of E, the only one that can really take them down would be the ones that have the power of the sword, man. This is why the Lord has set it to where, he put hooks in that jaw, and they had it to where, they never really seen eye to eye as far as the beast and the NATO had never seen eye to eye with Russia, man. Okay? And when you talk about that interview, okay, they pretty much spoke, Vladimir Putin pretty much spoke about him asking several times to join NATO. And the Lord had put the spirit on the kings of Babylon, NATO and EU, and to say no. Okay, why? It's because it was for the Lord's purpose, man. We have to understand the Lord is a man of war. Okay, and the Lord said that He's gonna plead with them there, right? Where? Okay, right? In the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. He's gonna plead with them there for His people and for His heritage, man. You see, and okay, the earth is coming out. The truth is coming out in the earth right now, man. Okay, and it's on full display as you see. Okay, all right. So there's a great reckoning, man, with this world, man, and we're seeing now the good against the evil, man. Okay, you're seeing it being manifest, man. All right. So pretty much, man, hey brothers, we just gotta just hunker down and hold on tight and just keep doing what we're doing, you know, the Lord is working beautiful things in the earth, man. And he's using the kings of the earth, man, to do his will, you know? All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rukrakodash, Shalom.